Hi everyone, it's my pleasure to be with you here again. I'm going to just today take you through some brief things in Excel. So we are going to talk about Excel errors in Excel. So by definition, in Excel, when you talk of errors, these are formulas or functions that cannot be calculated correctly, or like the Excel does not know those let me say you've input something, but Excel doesn't know it. So it's going to bring for you these errors. These errors, they appear in codes, like they start with a hash. So that code starts with a hash, then it continues. So I'm going to take you through those briefly. The first thing we are going to do, we are going to open our Excel. So well, let me just look for my Excel. This is my Excel, so I'm going to open. Yeah, this is Excel. Let me just make something. So I'm going to, in order for us to get those errors, we have to get our data. I'm just going to pick some random numbers, just for the sake of example. Actually, I don't need too many. And then let's just do this. We don't need many. Yeah, so this is the data I'm going to use to show you, to take you through errors. So the first thing we are going to have is the division error. So I'm going to divide. When I say like division error, it's this error that occurs when you divide a number by 0. So you're going to get the division error. Just the same way when you're using your calculator, these our calculators we use in classes. You're going to divide something by 0 and it brings for you mathematical error. So that's what you also get in Excel. So we are going to divide. So equal. I'm going to open my bracket. Then I'm going to divide this by that. That you see the hash division, like the error has come. That means you've done something which is not recognized, which cannot be calculated by Excel. So you're going to have, for you to remove this error, you have to cross check your data. You make sure there is no 0. But maybe you had some typing error, then you happen to write it as 0. It was supposed to be some number. Let me say like 2. Okay, let me say like 5. It was supposed to be 5 here, but then you wrote 2. So you're going to come to your here. You just go and cross check your formula, or else you can change. You can, yeah. So when you correct it to this, you see it's going to bring for you this. Then there is also, let me say you had it originally. That 0 was original. You can also use the if, that part of if. So with if, you just type your if this is equals to this, then that. So not to waste time, we are going to go to another type of error. So we talk of the name error. The name error, this one normally occurs when, let me say, Excel does not recognize that function you've typed. Remember, Excel has its inbuilt, the language that it understands. So when you write something in a language that it does not know, it will bring for you that name error. So let me take like, I want to add the A1 and B1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add, right? I said we start with equals sum. And mind you, in error, when you write in Excel, when you write something, make sure it's all in capital, because okay, it also directs you. Let me show you. I'm going to write in small cases, in lowercase. So you see it has its own in capital case. So I'm going to use the capital case here. That's it. I'm going to add, I'm adding this. No, just that. Actually, I'm trying to show you some errors, not that I'm trying to add. So we'll put our thing in capital, sum. I'm adding this equals sum. I'm adding it to this. So you see, it has brought for me the name error. Remember I told you when Excel does not know what you're typing, when that thing you're typing is not inbuilt, it's not in Excel, so it's going to bring for you that error. So you've misspelled it, you've written something wrong. So you come back and cross-check what you've written. You go to the formula bar and you will see like you had that mistake. Instead of writing sum without E, you added the E. So in order for you to correct your error, you just have to cross-check your spelling and you correct it. Here I am, so I've corrected my spelling. Yeah, so I've corrected it and you see it has brought for me because now it's having the right spelling of sum, with the one without E. So that's about the name error. So we are going to go to the next type of error. Let me show you. And that's the null error. So with the null error, it's all about your spacing, the way you space your thing, the way in language you could say like punctuating, but now here in computer, the way you do your spacing, the arrangement of your work. So I'm going to still, let me say I'm going to add, right? I want to equal sum. Yeah, I need 8, I didn't need 9. I'm going to add, right? I'm adding. Just make sure you're keen on what I'm trying to do. So this is the way I've added. It's still showing in the formula. So it has brought for me the null. So that means that I've done something. I've done some spacing which is not right, spacing which is not needed in Excel. So I'll go and cross-check my formula here. So you see that instead of putting a comma, I just placed a blank space. So I'm going to correct that. I'm going to correct that spacing by putting a comma. Now I've placed a comma instead of my what? I've placed a comma. So, sorry, I did it wrongly. I'm going to use a comma instead of what? Space. And you see like I've corrected my error. So equals sum. I open my bracket, A1, comma. Instead of the other space I had, I've placed comma. B2. Yeah, there it has corrected the error that I had. So the null error, it's all about the spacing, the way you're organizing your work. In case of instead of putting a comma, you've placed just a space. So it brings for you the null error. So this takes us to the next type of error, which is the value error. So with the value error, that means we are dealing with numbers, and for you add a number and a text. That will bring the value error, because you can't add a number on a text. It's not possible. So let's try seeing it. Let's do it here. Because I'm going to add this. I'm going to add that to this. So it brings for me the value error. That means I have to go and cross check what I'm having in my data. So you'll find like I had a text and I'm adding it with a number, which is not right. So I'll have to go and check this text. Maybe it was some number because of some other things, and I've written it as a text. So I'm just going to change that. So when I add it, it's going to bring for me the correct things. So that's about the value error. So we also have the num error. That one, it's basically when you what? Let me say you're finding the square root of a negative number. So it will bring you the num error. So in the interest of time, I'd like to stop here. I thank you all for having been with me throughout this time. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Thank you. Bye bye.